What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel, and for this one I wanted to show you guys another Shadowland solo, and this time we're going to be taking a look at the big bad green goblin. Now this guy right here is not someone I use very often, and that is for very good reason, and that's because he's really not that good. Like, back in the day when this game first came out, he was one of the highest damage dealing characters in the game, and although his damage is still pretty good, we've evolved to the point where we need more than just damage from our characters. We need a lot of survivability as well, and reliable survivability. And although he does have a couple iframes in here, he's just really way too squishy even with these iframes. And to be honest, his friggin' kit, although it's decent, has a lot of red flags to me, because if you take a look at the Goblin King right here, guys, the increased poison resist leadership. In this entire game right now, guys, he's pretty much the only one that uses poison damage. So what is this giving you any protection against? Himself? Like, there's literally no stage that I can think of in my mind, guys, in Shadowland or anywhere else where this leadership can be used that will benefit you. So this leadership, absolute garbage. Now on top of that, guys, take a look at this guy's 4-star passive. Oh wait, immunity to snare. That could be useful, but immunity to poison? So what's the point of this leadership? If you give us poison resist, why the hell do we have immunity to poison? Again, two useless passives. Well, one is not so useless, but the friggin' immunity to poison is useless because there's nowhere that no one else that uses poison. I guess we could say Thanos kind of uses poison because his 4 skill has a chance for dealing fire, lightning, or poison. But still, guys, this is not going to give you any protection against Thanos. You're still going to die. So this passive is absolute trash, and it makes it kind of seem like what the hell Netmarble was thinking when they gave him this leadership. I could understand if this was a 60% increase to poison damage, even though he's still going to be the only one that deals poison damage. It would make sense because he could buff himself and make him a lot more useful in other game modes. But to give him poison resist when pretty much no one else deals poison damage, and then to give him an immunity as well to poison is just like, what the friggin' hell? Like, it makes no sense to me, guys. So that's why I don't play this guy, because his entire kit just seems like, what the hell? Like, he does have really good damage, and when I do use him, the 2 skills that you can rely on is the 5, because it is to an extent a full iframe. You can get caught when you come down, which you will see when I take him into some actual gameplay, but it's like I guess I would call it a 90-10 iframe. That's what I'm going to call it. A 90-10 iframe. This one right here, an iframe as well. Apart from that, this one right here, I don't use it too often because the bombing run has a really long startup time and you will get hit 90% of the time. Bag of tricks, same thing. Pumpkin bombs, bad skill as well. So pretty much the only 2 skills that this guy has are these 2. And since he doesn't have a damage buffing leadership, because there's no one else in the game that can buff poison damage, generally you have to use energy attacking leadership, since he is an energy attacking character, or all attack leadership from someone else. So he relies heavily on others because his native damage, which is poison, no one else can help him there. I went with a friggin' offensive ISO set here because trying to survive with this guy there's no point. There's really no point in putting anything other than the offensive ISO set on him. You want to kill the enemy as fast as you can, because trying to drag out the fight, he's just going to die, regardless of whether you have a healing ISO set or not. So I went full offense to try and get shit done ASAP with this guy. And as for his obelisk, guys, I wanted ignore defense, poison damage, and a damage proc, but Orange Jesus was not so kind. He did give me 2 out of 3, so I decided I was just gonna take it and run with it because max recovery 10% is not terrible considering the fact that I get 22% ignore defense and poison damage. So I decided to run with it, and so far it's been decent because I literally only use him in Shadowland and that's it. He can't do anything anywhere else. He's just gonna die. Although his tier 2 passive makes him a little bit better because it gives him a little bit of survivability in the guaranteed dodge, which is what I love. Guaranteed dodge is amazing. However, guys, increase 45% to poison damage. That's great, but that's all he gets. When you have the uniform, he does get fire damage because that's what the uniform deals. And the uniform may actually be a little bit more useful because there are characters that can buff fire damage in the game. But from what I've seen, the uniform deals less damage than the classic. However, the uniform has a lot more survivability built into it. So one is just a glass cannon, and the other one's pretty much a tank. So take your pick your poison. This guy is still not gonna be that great as of right now. Maybe if we get some more new game modes in the future, he'll shine there. But as of right now, Shadowland is pretty much the only place I can use this guy. Maybe you guys are better and you can use him in like alliance battle, or you can use him up against world bosses and get stuff done with him. But I don't feel like going through that stress of trying to kill Thanos, or worse, Infinity Thanos with Green Goblin. But I'm sure some of you more skilled players out there can pull that off. So kudos to you. You guys are the real MVPs. As for skill rotation, guys, like I said, I just use the 5, the 3, and if I feel like being risky, I'll go ahead and hit the 4. So I'll do 5, 4 if the enemy is close. If it's not close to me, then I'll use 3 and then run away and then repeat that. But generally, you just want to use the 5 and the 3 and then just keep away from the enemies, as you guys will see right now. So we're going to put him up against the destroyer bosses because that's something I saw someone said in my comments, which personally I don't generally just use him by himself. I usually give him an attack boosting leadership, but just to see what I can do compared to what you guys can do, let's just see how this one turns out. And there you have it, guys. He pulled off a solo. It was easier in a sense than using Malekith, but is he someone that you should be in a rush to build? Not to me, guys. Not to me. Because I don't see very much use coming out of him besides Shadowland. But let me know what you guys think about this guy in the comments. And for those of you guys who can play him in other game modes, please share your knowledge with the rest of us, because I would love to be able to use him as well. And that's all I have for this one, guys. Like always, thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. And I'm gone.